Hi guys, welcome back to another weekly vlog. So now that everything's kind of done, I can start working on the chimpanzee commission. So I did a little bit of prep work the other day and I got some eyes prepared. So I don't think the camera's going to pick them up because they're quite small. But I've painted, they're not going to show, but I've painted in sort of a little pupil and brown iris, and then the outside is black because I have like the white bits are black. So I got those prepared, they're dry and ready to go into the head when I start sculpting. So I'm going to start sculpting. I need to do a little bit of just looking at some reference images before I start sculpting. And yeah, just get some good angles and stuff on the chimp and work out the sizing. And then yeah, so I'm going to be sculpting in the Super Sculpey, which is the beige color, because they have like a beigey undertone, and then I might add some black, like a black wash on top of it. But the coloring on them has like, it's so, just looking at them now, that's so like different, and yeah, I guess I'll just try and pick something in between. But I wanted that sort of transparency beige undertone that Super Sculpey has, so I'll be doing that. It's a little bit harder to work with because it's a little bit harder of a clay. I like working with soft clays. That's why I use Sculpey Original, because it's super soft and I like to sort of work fast. Whereas Super Sculpey, you sort of more have to carve sculpt rather than, you know, spreading stuff around. But when you work it a lot, it sort of gets a bit softer. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to be a smaller doll because the eyes are quite small. And yeah, so that's kind of on the agenda. And once that's done, I'm going to do the poll on the Patreon and maybe look at doing another Decadent piece. This one I'm thinking, I'm tossing up between either unicorn horns, because I've got some unicorn horns, as like another sort of pastel-y thing, or I'd like to do a neon one as well, like with black deco cream. I've got black here. So it's like this is the deco cream that I use. So I've got it's just clay and then you mix it up with water. But I've got a black version, or yeah, I can do white or something. So still sort of tossing up between that. And yeah, so I'll have to sculpt some more like deco pieces and stuff. I like sculpting them. It's quite fun. So that is the plan. And yeah, I guess I'll get started on the chimp. For this week, summary wise, I pretty much concentrated on doing the sculpting for the chimp. It took a little while, but really happy with the way it turned out. So for the chimp, I'm using Super Sculpey, so it's the beige It's the beige coloured Sculpey, and it's sort of semi-translucent, which means it's kind of like a beigey coloured skin tone, where it's like semi sort of transparent. And I'm using that because I wanted to, having a look at a couple of Chimp reference images, they have like a beigey undertone, and some of them have like black skin coloring, or they have like mottled skin coloring. So I wanted to have that undertone, and then I can work from there. I can add some black to the face, and then add the fur on top. But I wanted that skin, the translucent beige skin tone underneath to begin with as a base. So yeah, it's a kind of a smaller doll that I'm making. It's kind of the same size as the gorilla one that I made, but really happy the way it turned out. So this is what it looks like. It's really bad lighting actually. Strange noises going on. So yeah, so this is what we've done. I spent a lot of time sculpting all the detailing. I spent a lot of time on the ears, sort of trying to get that right. So the center's got an aluminium ball foil ball for this like main little bit here, and then this one is sort of added on top. I think there's like a tiny bit in the middle here. But yeah, so nice little close-up of the ears, and they're sort of both the same. So the fur will come, I'll attach the fur from here. So I've sculpted like this little ridge here, and then the fur will sort of come down. And I've put the I'm going to put the armature sort of facing down a little bit more, so it's more like a person shape, like it's more posability in that way. So a little look at all the wrinkles on the side. So yeah, I sculpted the wrinkles as well, but I'll do a video on how I sculpted these wrinkles as well. But I tried to go for like a soft look in the eyes, which I think I got. Yeah, really happy with the way the eyes turned out. You can't really, I don't think the camera's really picking up the way the pupils, like the pupils in there. But they are glass as well. But yeah, and I tried to give it like a small little smirk on the sides, and yeah, the little lip here. The wrinkling on the forehead as well. I spent a bit of time with the wrinkling there, on the brow line, I should say. And I think that really sort of brought it to life when that wrinkling on the forehead here, on the brow line as well, and a little bit of wrinkling here, wrinkling on the lip, upper lip here. I did a little bit on the chin, but a lot of this is going to be covered with some fur as well, so it'll sort of integrate a bit better once the fur has been put on. And some wrinkling on the side here, little crow's feet that I did, wrinkles underneath here. So at the moment, so I've had to sculpt it smaller as well around here, so it's really mainly the face bit that's going to be showing that I concentrated on, whereas the bits along the side here are going to have fur on it, faux fur on it, so it needs to be sculpted a little bit smaller to accommodate the fur. So it just kind of looks like a bald chimp at the moment. But yeah, so really happy with the way that turned out. I think it's got a really nice look in its eyes. I'm thinking it's a female. I'm getting the female vibe to it. But yeah, got a really nice profile. Just a nice soft looking face, which is what I wanted. Yeah. So that is the chimp. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach the armature. So I'm going to be using a ball and socket armature, the smaller size. This is the 1/8, I think it is, the smallest size, and it'll sort of just fit in. It'll sort of fit in like that, and then we can go from there. But it has to be secured and everything anyway, so I'll have to do that. But the hands and feet I am going to try and sculpt out of cosplay. I've got like a beigey coloured cosplay, so I think that'll work well for the hands, even though I know chimps seem to have more black hands than beige, but I want to get that on the tone just so I could do that black paint wash over the top and have it sort of semi-translucent. So yeah, so that'll be an eternal struggle to do those with cosplay as usual. Well, because I've still got the Kickstarter cosplay, so it's super crumbly. I hope I have beige. I'm pretty sure I have beige. So I'll need to make the armatures for the hands and feet and then sculpt them out of cosplay, which it takes 4 hours to condition on cosplay. But yeah, that's sort of the plan on the chimp, and that's basically all I did this week. I spent a lot of time sculpting that face to make sure I got all of the proportions and that look right, and just sort of trying to plan out the next decadent type thing that I'm thinking. I'm thinking I have a lot of horns that I sculpted out of like leftover epoxy sculpt, so they're like kind of unicorn horns. I've got a fair bunch of them. I have to find what I did with them, but I've got a fair bunch of like small horns, and I've got like larger unicorn horns that I've cast in resin. So I'm thinking I might do a unicorn horn ones out of like the larger ones, and so there'll be a big unicorn horn that comes out. So that's what I'm thinking, but I'm also thinking of doing like a neon one as well, but I'm not sure. I have to plan that out a bit more. It'd be cool to do like a neon sea one or something. I don't know. Just some rambling thoughts, I guess. Anyway, so I'll probably leave it there. I'll continue working on the chimp as well, but I got a couple of videos to edit, so hopefully I get some of those up, and yeah, so that's the deal this week. All right, thanks to my patrons for supporting me. I really appreciate it. I have a poll that went out on my Patreon for to vote for the next art doll. So what I'm going to do is there's a list of art dolls that my patrons can vote on, and then I'll pick the top 2 and do a poll on Instagram for everyone of what art doll to make, so my patrons will get the choice out of like a bigger list, and they sort of get to dictate which ones to pick, and then yeah, so that's over on my Patreon. And I had a free printable go up as well, and also the wing tutorial for the Pastel Dragon also went up there. I was trying to think of something else that I put up, but the wing tutorial for the Pastel Dragon I put up there. So just a little tutorial, like step-by-step process of what I did for the wings for that Pastel Dragon. So head over there if you want to learn how I did it. And yeah, that's about it. Check me out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I need to put more videos on my TikTok, but I keep forgetting. Yeah, so check me out on them and my shop, christiannat.com, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.